You were physically abused as a kid?
She would just kind of just do things, I guess.
Actual?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
That's why I was kind of afraid to have kids, because if somebody did that to my kid,
You kill him.
I'm gonna kill them.
I mean, what would she say to you? Would she say, don't tell anybody? Or
Oh yeah,
you?
yeah. They all said that. Don't tell anybody.
You were physically abused as a kid?
Mm-hmm.
By who?
3 different people.
Adults?
Yeah. Well, no, I'd say one was more of a. It was a. This was the first one. It was in Iowa. I would say kindergarten time frame, but it was our babysitter.
What happened?
I don't know if we're really going to detail into it, but she would just kind of just do things, I guess.
Sexual?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
And then, well, the physical side was more from our stepdad. You know, he'd beat the shit out of us. Sometimes he'd come home drunk, and if he had a bad night, pull us out of bed and whip our asses. I just remember the belt, and it had metal rings in it. So he said he used it because they with the holes, because it'd fly through the air faster. So
Just for no reason.
yep, just had a bad night, or we left dishes in the sink or something like that.
Jeez, dude. Who was the third?
Well, the other ones was more of a sexual abuse kind of stuff, but you know, my mom's boyfriends used to pretty much hit all of us. You know, I mean, we were unruly for the most part, but
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I had one older brother, older sister, and a younger sister.
And they all got it.
Not my younger one. I don't think she really did.
What about the sexual abuse?
I don't think they did. I think it was just me. So, yeah, and the other one again was in Iowa as well. It was again close friend, and then the last one was in Colorado. I think I was going into 5th grade.
Jeez, Tig, you had 3 different fucking sexual abusers by 5th grade?
Yep. 2 of them the family didn't know about. They only knew about the last one.
What
The
did
other
they
2
do?
never got caught. What's that?
What did they do?
So how that guy got caught, we were up in Gold Camp Road in Colorado, and actually my cousin was there, and the guy, you know, he bought his liquor. He was a stock car driver or something like that, one of those little short speed track racers. So he was pretty well known, I guess. We didn't really know, because it was like our second year being in Colorado for the most part. And but anyways, so we were up there, and he started playing like a truth or dare game, and he's like, you know, truth or dare. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think he pulled his pants down. That's when my cousin grabbed me, and we took off. You know, people in Colorado know where Gold Camp Road is. You know, we pretty much went from Gold Camp Road, and we hiked it back to Manitou Springs, and had the cops called, and that's kind of how that went. But come to find out, he was doing that to a couple other kids, but they let him off, saying there was not enough evidence.
Do you mind if we dive into this a little more?
Go ahead.
You know, it's just, I totally wasn't expecting this to come up. In fact, when we just reviewed the interview, he said, "Oh no, he had a great childhood," and but you know, I can't believe how common this is in people's childhood, and you know, I found it out through interviewing. I'll bet 50% of the people that have been on here have been through physical or sexual abuse as a kid.
I think that's why it's probably more than that. Just ones don't talk about it. You know, like if you look in the military, a lot of I bet you majority of them that had a semi-rough childhood were probably abused in one way or another.
I mean, in out of that, I mean, there's only so many. A lot of times this will come up after the interview or before the interview, and they don't want to talk about it because they've made amends with the abuser or whatever. But I mean, so anyways, kind of where I'm going with this is, you know, I've learned like how common this is through interviews, diving into childhood, and it just keeps coming up, and it's always almost always as a shock because it just comes out. And so I hate hearing that. And I started diving into child sex exploitation and child trafficking and abuse and all that stuff, and kind of exposing how common it is
It's
in
bad.
today's society. But what I want to ask is, if you don't want to go into detail, that's fine. I totally understand, and I'm not going to press you on it. But one of the things that I like to do, because we've had so many of these stories come out, is talk about kids that are in that predicament right now as we're sitting here talking.
Yep.
And fuck, man, 3 abusers by the time you're in 5th grade.
Yep.
How do you get? I mean,
Well, I mean, the first two, you don't really think anything's wrong, honestly. I mean, hell, I was so damn young. I don't know if anything's wrong or not. I think the first one stopped just because we moved. She was the babysitter, and again, I don't remember exactly why, but she was babysitters during the day, mainly during the summer. Could have been maybe because school started. She couldn't come over no more. But for me, even though I was running for mayor, you going through and they're teaching you about the things that's going on in here, and I'm like going, when these things happen to me, none of this stuff was brought up when I was a kid. I remember, going through the problems and stuff, and for like kids that are going through it, I originally didn't want kids because I didn't want to have to deal with, my own kids going through the same shit that I did. So
jeez.
that's why I waited till 35 when I had enough close calls to say, well, I better have kids if I want my genes to continue. So again, that's why I decided. Other than that, it's just like, man, society's just fucked up,
Yeah.
and we don't protect our kids. You do have some parents, again, they'll see somebody doing something to their kid, and they'll go kill them. And then what they got to do, they got to go spend time in court, which I think is horseshit. Somebody's hurting your kids. That's our number one asset in this world is our kids. That's our future. So to allow things like that to happen, that's why I was kind of afraid to have kids, because if somebody did that to my kid,
You kill them.
I'm going to kill him. So, I talked to my kids about it. They don't know my history, but I always made sure I let them know. That was the biggest thing about the last guy was he would use, again, what, 4th grade, you're what, 8, 9 or something like that. You still don't really know. So there's, again, he was like, if you tell anybody, I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna kill your brother and sister, because we was in an apartment and he just lived like right upstairs, and he was a pretty big guy. He was bigger than my mom's boyfriend. So, as a kid, you don't know. So my biggest thing is telling my kids, if anybody ever tells you to keep a secret, let me know, because you know who I am. I'm gonna kill them. I got no problem telling my kids that. That way they don't have to fear somebody else.
Jeez. So with the sitter, was this like an everyday occurrence, or every time she babysat?
Every time. So it was pretty much just during the week.
What would she say to you? Would she say, "Don't tell anybody, or
Oh
I'll
yeah.
kill you"?
Yeah. They all said that. Don't tell anybody. That's the biggest thing about telling the kids. Anybody tells you do not tell anybody, there's a problem. Especially as a kid. You shouldn't have to have a secret as a kid.
Jeez.
So again, that's just parents actually having those conversations with their kids just to make sure. Even going back to the whole crap that they're teaching kids in school, forcing that LBGT, all that hidden stuff. Same thing. If anybody says don't tell you should be telling your parents, because they're doing something that is wrong, period.
Did you wind up telling anybody?
About the first two, no.
And the second guy was upstairs in an apartment?
No, that was the third one.
Who was the second guy?
That was in Iowa. He lived down the street, and I just remember it was that would only happen twice only, but it was just because I spent the night. He had a kid the same age and stuff like that, and I think they worked in the bar with my mom or something like that. So.
And the third guy lived above you?
Yeah.
How would that happen?
So he had again, they say they're going to take us to the racetrack or something like that, and that's when it would happen. Or again, he said he could watch us or watch me. He never did anything when the other kid, brother and sister were around, but So take you to, he had a used car lot right on not Fillmore, right on Platte, kind of next, really close to Union. The building's still there, but obviously he's not. But that's where, again, that's when things would happen mainly there. So I try to not go, but again, sitting there telling you, don't tell your parents or I'm going to, kill you, kill them. So you don't tell them why you don't want to go. So sometimes you still had to go.
Shit, dude.
So.
And physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah, there's people who've had worse than me. But that's probably why I was so kind of protective, I guess, and violent growing up. So.
Who are you protective of? No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.